Hello, I'm Lucy Baldwin. Welcome to Hot Seat. Welcome to the Hot Seat, Gabby.
Thank you.
So, my first question for you is, do you give your consent for me to share this video publicly?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And I want to let you know that you have a safe word, which is red.
Okay.
So, if you feel too much sensation or just if you feel really uncomfortable and you want to be taken care of, just say red.
Okay.
Great. Okay, Gabby, tell me what are you working on in yourself right now?
Um, on myself, I'm working on raising my feeling of possibilities professionally. I think that I've always kind of put myself in this little box of what's possible. And I think it kind of comes from our traditional ideas about what we do for our education and higher learning that has to directly relate to what we do. And I've, lately over this last year, been seeing people doing completely unrelated things successfully, it had nothing to do with their degree or, their training. And it's really made me rethink the possibilities for myself. And it's almost to the point where now I'm just starting to believe that we can become very skilled in things that just comes from personal research and intuition and this big kind of gut moving you in a certain direction.
What is the current field that you're in?
I'm in curriculum and instruction in education, and I have been spending most of my career with in the public schools with children.
And you're looking to change?
I had never thought of doing anything other than making it to retirement, but I've just been really feeling some strong impulses in working with adults, and I've had a lot of experiences in the group fitness industry where I've been teaching there, and that kind of came later, which is another reason I'm thinking, just because it wasn't something that you envisioned for yourself at the beginning doesn't mean that, it's not something you can do. So, yeah, right now I just know it's with adults. I also am looking at feeling like wellness or some type of kind of setting up structures for personal discipline and helping people to accomplish that for themselves based on what's helped me and what's worked with the people that I've worked with previously.
Do you have any specific fears as you step into potentially a new role?
I think that the main fear that I have, I should say the only fear that I have right now is in being respected for my opinion when so much of my life has really been about operating off of working theories and not facts, And so I know that there are a lot of even trained people that get a lot of pushback, backlash for their professional opinions. And I'm thinking, well, what do I do if, say, I pursue something that I don't have direct education in? There's got to be someone that's going to offer some type of criticism. So I think that's the main thing that I'm nervous about.
Why are you afraid of criticism?
I think that I come from a religious background that taught you you're 100% good, 100% bad, black and white. And so if I am criticized, and then that means that I'm not perfect anymore, and then now I'm suddenly bad and I belong with, the demons in hell and brimstone. And so it's been new learning for me, and it's been incredibly liberating to feel that there is this huge stack of gray in between the black and white. So it's still uncomfortable for me, but I've been trying to establish ways to make myself uncomfortable so that I can hopefully take that on, because I really have a strong belief that the more you stand out with uniqueness, the more difficult it is to create buy-in with, the world at large.
Gabby, what criticism are you most afraid to receive?
Um, I think that, I think the biggest thing that I'm concerned about is I've always been really sensitive about not being respected. So someone thinking that I'm a hack is top of the list that I know of right now.
A hack.
Yeah. Does that mean you want to hear me say more?
I just really feel that maybe you actually deeply want to be called a hack.
And that's actually what brought me to you today, because I have been feeling like a relief in having my ideas challenged, or even having the depths of my ideas being requested. So like I'm honestly looking for this kind of stuff, to learn how to find myself in between that good and bad and the black and white. You're right.
I feel like it would just set you free.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I want to know, Gabby, how close to the black are you willing to go?
I would say I'm not sure about that yet, but I do know from my previous experiences with things that the moment I don't feel like the discomfort has a purpose, then that's when I know I would back out. So I don't know where that is, other than basing it on how I feel, and in teaching, in teaching young children, I have definitely kind of felt those moments where I've said, I'm done here. I'm done. I'm ready to go work at Starbucks, ready to go somewhere else where there is way less pressure. And, but the minute I've said that, it's like something in the nether sphere has been listening, and something's always come in to save me. And so it's really a beautiful yet horrifying experience that the minute I've said this is too much, something has come to lift me off and take me somewhere else. So that almost makes me even more sure that I need to really put myself in a place of great risk, to know that that same structure that's holding me up when things are mildly uncomfortable is really going to hold me up when I don't feel that comfort. And I guess that's my big problem, is that I have this really strong belief that things are always working out for my best interest.
That's a problem?
Well, it's a problem because I like safety and I know that everything's going to work out. So I've always been given safety, and it's not really encouraged me to branch out to do something really dangerous, So let me give you an example of a dangerous thing that I've been working on, and see if maybe this might offer some interesting discussion for you. So this is my last year of receiving child support from my ex, and I've been really hating this idea of being accountable to someone because I'm receiving financial support from them. And so there's this part of me that wants to say, when that deadline hits up, to just say, you know what, I don't want any alimony. I just want to be completely rid of that obligation, because it does feel like one, even though I'm getting financial help, and I'll figure it out for myself. And again, kind of knowing in the back of my mind that things are always working out for me, this really tempts me to say, let's just go for it and do without and figure out how we're going to make up for the immense amount of financial support that I'm getting, and see what happens. So I am literally just like walking on the edge and so afraid to jump off that diving board right now, because that is way beyond my threshold of comfort. But I still know I have never, 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 ever been let down ever before in my life with the circumstances that have come to pick me up. So this is my big moment, I really believe, in that particular instance.
So what are you going to do?
So I think at the very basic level, I have to get used to being uncomfortable with people challenging my ideas about things, because I do have some. And then from there, I really want to create an online network of people that can benefit from some of the things that I've learned about setting up structures for themselves to be productive, to feel a sense of thriving. I want to keep some of my work that I do in group fitness a part of that, in terms of exercise and wellness practices that can be simple and complex, to
What are you
help
going to do
people
about
feel
the
a greater
money,
sense.
though?
I'm really thinking that that this has some possibilities to bring in the compensating income. That's what I'm imagining right now. Is it'll be enough to where I don't need to have that alimony set up, because this will bring in enough for me to compensate.
What is your worst fear that will happen if you turn down the alimony?
I'm pretty good at surviving by myself. I've done it before with like nothing. I think the biggest fear is that my kids are not getting support from, that they not get support from their dad. My son doesn't have a relationship with his dad, and so I know that 100% of anything that goes wrong, I'm going to have to come in and help him with. And I'm so worried that something's going to go wrong with him. I don't want him to feel uncomfortable. I'm okay with being uncomfortable. I just don't want him to feel uncomfortable. And I worry that if my daughter decides that she does not want to live under the rules of her father in exchange for getting all this support for school and whatnot, deodorant, maxi pads, that she'll leave and come to me, and then I'll basically I'll need the child support, but won't have the funds for it to take care of them. I can live in a studio apartment off of nothing, eating ramen, but I don't want that for my kids, and I think it creates a big source of stress for me.
Thank you, Gabie.
Thank you.
Thank you for being on the hot seat.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing your life with us.
Absolutely. And thank you for giving me the experience to feel it.